Hi, I'm Daniel J. Lewis from the Audacity-to-podcast.com. I am thrilled to show you my podcast reviews, where you can get international podcast reviews automatically emailed to you. But before I show you how this works, let me show you what you would have had to do without this service. So launch iTunes, and depending on the speed of your computer, this may be a fast process or a slow process. And I'll search for my podcast in iTunes. Here it is, the Audacity to Podcast. Click on it. Switch over to ratings and reviews. Now I see a bunch of reviews here, but these aren't my most recent reviews, so I have to then go to sort by my most recent reviews. Now I can see them. I can scroll through them, scroll, try to remember which ones are new, which ones have I read before, have I thanked this person. That's just for the United States store. If you want to do this for multiple stores, then what we have to do is go down to the bottom, click the country button, which is your current country flag, and I'll switch over to Canada, for example. Now I have to find my podcast again in the Canadian store of iTunes. And this can take a long time to do, and there is a huge list of countries here. I don't want to go through every single one of these just to find out, have I received any reviews? Whom can I thank for leaving a review for my podcast? That's why I've created my podcast reviews to give you international podcast reviews automatically emailed to you. So this is how it works. We'll choose to sign up and we'll pick a pricing plan. Since I have a couple different podcasts, I'm going to go with the multi-show account. Now I decide which way I want to pay. I'm going to pay with a credit card. Okay, I'm in. I have up to 5 podcasts that I can add. So let's find my podcast, the Audacity to Podcast. There it is. I'll add that one. I also have this other show, Podcasting Video Tips. It's completely separate, but it's a division of the Audacity to Podcast. So I'll add that one too. Add these. Now I can go to my podcasts and I can see these podcasts. Something I can do in addition to this is you notice that this brings in the full title of the podcast. So if I'd like to edit the title, all I have to do is click on the podcast, then click on the title. So instead of my full title, I'm just going to change this to the Audacity to Podcast. Change that. Okay, now go back to my podcasts. I'll change this one from this long title to Podcasting Video Tips and change that. Now what's happening in the background is my podcast reviews is checking for my latest podcast reviews and will automatically email them to me as soon as it is finished checking all of the international stores and finding my latest reviews. And here it is, the Audacity to Podcast, my complete list of my podcast reviews up until this point. So this is current as far back as all the way back here to 2010 when I received my first review for my podcast in iTunes. And look at where these are coming from. A lot of reviews here from the United States of America. Here's one from Canada, from Australia, from the United States. So this is checking all of my reviews in every store. But it's even greater than this. Not only is this beneficial to you, but this is shareable too. Now I have a log of all of my reviews up until this point, and I can receive further emails when I receive more reviews later on. In this email, I can click on View in Browser, or if I'm on the website and I look at my podcast, now you see all of my reviews have already been loaded into here. I can click View in Browser. So I can see just this one review for my podcast and share this with someone. For example, sharing it on Twitter. And I can change the message to whatever I want it to say and tweet that out as it is. I can come back, share it across other social networks, buffer it, anything like that, and do that with any review from my podcast that I can share these with anyone online. At any point, I can also upgrade or downgrade my account by going over here to the account settings and change the plan. Or I can also set up a special schedule for these specific accounts. Go to your account menu and choose Email Schedule. And because I'm on the multi-show account, I am set up for weekly emails, and I can choose which day I want these emails to come in. They're processed in the morning, and I record in the afternoon. So I want my podcast reviews to come in on the day that I record my podcast, so that way I can see, is there someone I should thank in my podcast? So I'll set these to come in on Monday. And if I had a network account, I could also choose a daily email to show me my latest reviews, whether I have reviews for my podcasts. If you have any one of these accounts, you can then add however many number of podcasts that you are given in that account and adjust the schedule for each of them. Maybe I record podcasting video tips on Thursday, so I want that one to come in on Thursday while the Audacity to podcast comes in on Monday. Perfectly okay to change it to whatever schedule that you want. And if you can't remember your latest reviews or you've lost track of the email, you can always come to the website, mypodcastreviews.com, log in, and check out your latest reviews from the list right there, and you'll have it always at your convenience. I would love to see you do amazing things with this and connect with your community even better. And I hope that this makes podcasting so much easier for you and so much more exciting as other people leave reviews for your podcast, and that helps people find your podcast and it encourages you too. If you want to check out my own podcast, go over to theaudacitytopodcast.com. One last thing I'll point out to you is here on the website, mypodcastreviews.com. If you'd like a free ebook for some tips on how to get more iTunes reviews for your podcast, then just sign up for the email list down here at the bottom. Thank you for being part of mypodcastreviews.com. If you ever have any questions, just click on the help tab and send me a message through the site, and we will be happy to help you. I'm Daniel J. Lewis from theaudacitytopodcast.com and mypodcastreviews.com. Thank you for watching.